Today's Conscious Parenting Live is about supporting your moody teenager. And it is a tricky time of life, when our children are going through those teenage years and there's a lot of change happening for them. And our relationship with them often alters and changes as well. So today I'm going to share with you three key things that can really help at this time. So the first one that I talk about a lot because it is the foundation and the key to all communication, no matter what the age, but it becomes particularly important at the teenage age. And that is the active listening. That is really genuinely paying attention to them, showing them that you're listening. Now, a way you can do that is by being present, right? And if you're going to add words into that, for instance, let's imagine that your teenager he has something's happened at school, and and they're feeling a bit upset about that. Then you can say something like, "These two are really useful. I can see, or I can tell. I can see that's really bothering you, or I can tell that was really frustrating." You know, so I can see or I can tell, those two can be really useful to have in mind for showing that you can see something's bothering them, that you understand, and then you allow them to tell you what that is if they want to and when they want to. That is also the key. So we don't go on badgering them and asking lots of questions. One of the things with teenagers really is to avoid asking lots of questions, actually. So if you have a tendency to ask a lot of questions, that's particularly a time to keep that tendency in check. So number one is the active listening. Number two, and I've just mentioned this one actually, is allow them to come to you when they're ready. Okay. So provide a space for them. Now, I've noticed with younger children, but it's the same with older ones, that around bedtime can often be when everything's quiet, at a time when they want to open up, when they're more likely to tell you things or talk to you about stuff. So it could be helpful to have a bit of time around then to provide just some space, that if they want to tell you anything they can, but again, there's no pressure. So number two is provide some space, for them. And number three is loving boundaries with respect. Loving boundaries with respect. So what I mean by this is taking a collaborative approach, actually. So creating boundaries, whatever rules you have your household, but doing that in a collaborative way. So a way that you could do this, right, is to involve them in the creation of what those rules are, right? By having a collaborative conversation. This works really well, again, at all ages, actually, but particularly during the teenage years, because no one likes being told what to do, and especially teenagers, when they've very much got their own ideas about what they think is right or how things should be done and all of that kind of thing. So by having collaborative conversations, you can get their buy-in, actually. They're more likely to do the things, the ideas that they come up with. So, and within my conscious parenting mastermind, I take people through, and my one-to-one clients and two-to-one clients as well, I share a particular structure for this that is really powerful. So just to recap, we've got the first one was active listening. The second tip was providing space. And the third tip was these loving, respectful boundaries, where you're taking this collaborative approach. So those are three ways in which you can really support your teenager, particularly if they're coming across as being quite moody about things. And the active listening part of that is really accepting them for where they're at. and that's okay. It's all right to have bad moods. It's all right to feel annoyed, or, you know, it's really accepting those. So for anybody who's wanting support, further support around this, if you've got a teenager and you're finding the dynamic in your family tricky, there are a few different ways in which I can support you. I do a managing emotions bundle, which gives you my 4 steps to help your child manage their emotions. And you get some one-to-one sessions with me. You get 2 one-to-one sessions with me. So that's a fantastic bundle, actually, because it means you get the resources and tools to learn and add to your toolkit, as well as some support in how to apply that to your situation right now. I also have Tantrums to Calm, which at the point of recording in November 2023, when I'm recording this, that is coming up next week. And so that is, I'll be taking people through those 4 steps in live, and there's lots of support there. So that is also an option. And of course, I work with people 1-to-1, parents 1-to-1 and 2-to-1. So if that is, a way you want support, then you can book a call to just check we're compatible. And get booked on there. So the links are in the comments. Excuse my nose, I am full of a cold. And if you have watched this and enjoyed this and found it helpful, do make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications when a new one of these comes out, and you can look back at all the different ones as well. So yeah, have a great day, and I wish you all the best with your teenager.